Yes, everyone, Mark the Movie Man here, aka the DC Shilling. We're coming today to look at a new physical release that just dropped this past week from Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. It is finally in our hot little hands, and that is the physical release of The Flash 2023. Welcome to the Final Cut Discovery Edition, and this film, though flopped at the box office, was fairly well received by both audience and critics if you go by the aggregate sites. I personally thoroughly enjoyed this film, mainly probably because of the supporting characters, not so much the main character of the film. I loved seeing Michael Keaton come back as the Batman, and Sasha as Supergirl. She needs her solo film because she was badass. So today we are looking at the Blu-ray digital release. This one's retailing at $34.98. Now, if you want to do the 4K Ultra HD, that's going to be $44.98. And if you're still collecting DVDs, that's $29.98. So what does this physical release have to offer? Well, let's sit down and take a closer look, shall we? So here we are with the slipcover, The Flash, that wonderful artwork. Regardless of how you might feel about the movie, I gotta admit, the promotional material that they came up with some of it looked really good, and this cover, love it. Batman in the back with that wonderful updated Batwing. I loved that Batwing. Not as much as seeing, his the Batmobile on the big screen, but I loved this new updated Batwing. So yeah, very cool, and Supergirl in here looking badass. Yeah, and then Barry Allen and The Flash there, of course, as well, with the big title across it, though that almost has kind of a TV movie look to it. I'm not quite sure their choice on that. Maybe they could have styled that a bit differently, but such as it is, not a bad slipcover, and I do like the art. The spine that we have on here, well, there you go, dark with the red. It's going to be a little hard to see on the shelf, and then on the back of our slipcover, we have our instructions, what you can do with the digital code, and a few promo stills, which picked a couple of my favorite shots from this movie. So I was very happy to see that on here with our list of the special features, which we'll get into in a minute. They make some unusual choices and how you can do the digital code with movies anywhere. As far as the physical release inside the slipcover, same thing. Now, I like usually looking at this, and the reason I compare them is because occasionally, you do get a variance in here. So we take a look here, although instead of the Movies Anywhere promo, we do have our credits here of everybody involved. So you have that there. Spine is the same, as well as the front cover of the artwork. So as far as inside goes, let's take a look. Well, we have here your digital code, right? Now, what's interesting about the digital code here is that it's only good for a year. I don't know if that's telling of Warner Brothers or what, but it's only good for a year. So if you buy this physical copy, you best use that digital code very quickly, and for a couple other reasons too. And here we have the Flash disc, which looks really cool with the lightning on there. Yellow is an interesting choice. More of that bad guy suit color, but I don't know why they didn't make it red. But hey, it's yellow. Maybe the yellow paint was cheaper. Who knows? But how about those special features? Well, let's take a closer look at those. Now, we do have the standard Warner Brothers Home Entertainment menu here. Not too much variety there. Your standard features there, where you're looking at the chapter select and audio and all of that fun stuff. So you've got that going on. But let's go to the special features. Now, the first special feature that we have on here is Making the Flash Worlds Collide. Very interesting 36-minute documentary that they shot during the shooting of the film. They give you a little behind the scenes of how it got delayed because of COVID, some of the interesting choices they made, and it's really cool seeing some of the sets. I wasn't quite prepared to see just how much was practical effects for this film, and mad props for that, and you get to appreciate that work in this 36-minute documentary, which I thought was fairly well done. And then they have Let's Get Nuts with Batman Returns. Again, an 8-minute feature talking about the return of Michael Keaton. Though there was no interview with Michael Keaton, we just had a lot of people saying, yeah, Mike said he had a really great time and whatnot. So I don't know if he just chose not to or, what, but it was great seeing him in the behind the scenes and hearing them talk about some of the excitement he had for returning to it. And then Supergirl, Last Daughter of Krypton, which is a 16-minute special. And so glad it was, because you really get to appreciate the Supergirl character. They interview past Supergirl actresses, and that was really cool as well. I did not expect to see them on this, and yeah, it's just really interesting, and probably one of the most interesting of the featurettes that you get on the Blu-ray here. Now, well, I don't know why they did this, but they feature like this whole, like half of the features on the physical disc feature this podcast that has nothing really to do with the movie, The Flash Escape the Midnight Circus podcast with Max Greenfield as the Flash. It's an hour and 30 minutes, and you get a trailer for this podcast, and you get a BTS for this podcast. And, you know, maybe they're trying to appeal to the younger audience. I'm not sure, but it's just really weird to put that on this. And let me tell you, that podcast, it was all right. A little bit too over the top for me, maybe a little bit too cheesy. I'm not sure, but it was just odd to see that as the special feature. But don't stop there, folks. You do have the digital code. If you redeem the digital code, it unlocks more special features, and that boggled my mind. I'm like, why weren't these on the disc? I had to go and register my digital code, and then suddenly you get a number of other interesting special features. A lot of them are scene breakdowns. They break down saving Supergirl scene. They break down the Bat Chase scene, which is really cool to see those breakdowns and them interviewing the stunt coordinators and all of that. Battling Zod was great. I loved that feature because they talk about the work Sasha did as the Supergirl, and how they brought, Shannon. You got Michael Shannon interviews there, and yeah, these featurettes are really cool. I just wish they would have been on the physical media. And Fighting Dark Flash is there as well, and that's 7 minutes. And all of those featurettes are definitely worth it. There is a deleted scenes section of about 8 minutes, and you can see why these scenes were deleted. They really didn't add a whole lot at all, and which they usually don't with deleted scenes, in all honesty. So yeah, and so that was just odd that for the physical release, half of those special features that would normally in the past be on the disc are on the digital. So maybe they recorded them after they did the image for the Blu-ray. Who knows? But in any case, there you have it, folks. The Flash Blu-ray release with the digital code. If you want all the bells and whistles, you have to redeem the digital code, which you only have for a year. So I liked The Flash. In fact, I watched the movie again after I watched all the special features, and it still held up for me. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and all that here. Help us to get over 2,500 subscribers before the end of the year. We have about 100 and I think 30 that we have to do yet. We can only get there with your support. So I thank you so much. And until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.